Hey guys, welcome back. This is Adrian Boysel and I got another great video for you. This is the Adrian Graphics and Marketing channel. Today, we're gonna talk about books. But first, please go and hit the subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified of all my videos. Got a lot of great stuff. I love talking about books, talk about entrepreneurship. If you're a young entrepreneur, you're out there, maybe you're still in a job and you're trying to get out and you wanna really find the knowledge and the value and the wisdom that you need to really be free of a 9-to-5, I am your guy to help you do that. So welcome to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because today we're going to talk about the 3 books that every entrepreneur should be reading. And let's get started. All right, so number 1, the very first book that I would recommend is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck kind of name is Napoleon Hill? Well, Napoleon Hill is an actually incredible author. This guy wrote many books, but his favorite, or my favorite book I should say, that he wrote is Think and Grow Rich. And now this book truly changed my life. When I was just 17 years old, I was selling cell phones in the mall and a guy came up to me from an MLM and said, hey man, I think you should read this book. I think it would really help you. And I think he had just read it and he was trying to recruit me. So he gave me this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm like, what the heck kind of name is Napoleon Hill? But I read it anyway, and boy, I gotta tell you, that book will change your life. If you have not read it, you need to. Even if you've been an entrepreneur for a little while, it's not too late. Anybody that is an entrepreneur should read this book at any point in their career. It is the 13 principles for achievement in life. It talks about drive and purpose and faith and perseverance. There's so many great pieces to this book. You really can't be an entrepreneur and not have checked this out, okay? And if you're like me, you have a busy schedule. Well, let me just ask you this. Could you read 1 page a day? If you could read just 1 page a day, I guarantee you that in the next 6 months, you could get through this entire book. And I say this because I know after you read a page a day for about 30 days, you're gonna be so hooked that you're gonna blow through the rest of that book in like 2 weeks at the most. It's only like a 220-page book. It's a very short book, but it is one of the most powerful books I believe that exists right now. And that's why I made it number 1. Number 2 is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. That book is absolutely incredible. If you're an entrepreneur that's just in business because you love doing graphic design, or you love doing video production, or you love doing web design, or you love doing whatever it is that you're doing creatively in your business, helping businesses, you actually need to really hone in and find your why, and you need to start with that. So Simon Sinek talks about the golden circle and starting with why. All the great companies of the world, the Apples, the Nikes, all these companies actually started with why first. They don't sell their services, they solve problems, and why they wanted to solve that problem. It helps create great leadership. There's just so many things about Start With Why that'll help you grow your business, recruit people, become a better leader. You have to read that book. It's an absolute must. It's a 100% must, just like Richest Man in Babylon, which is my 3rd book by George S. Clayton. I think it's Clason. Richest Man in Babylon is a book on finances. And if you're young, you may have struggled early on with your credit. If you're 19, 20 years old, if you're younger than that, then this is the book that you got to put under your belt, and it's less than 200 pages. I think it's 180 pages. You can blow through this thing super quick. It's a great read, and it's actually goes back 8,000 years of parables and advice on how to grow your wealth, how to lower your expenses, how to actually put money away for retirement, how to build wealth aside from your skills. It's just a really powerful book that'll help you as an entrepreneur understand money, and it'll give you a better shot at your future of putting away like an emergency fund and things like that that some of these other guys like Dave Ramsey talks about. The Richest Man in Babylon is a phenomenal book. You gotta read this. So why read, right? I mean, these are great books, but why is it important? You're already smart. Maybe you went to college, maybe you didn't go to college. Most of the people I hope on here that are like me, you didn't go to college, you're self-taught, and you need to consume as much information as you can. And one of the things my uncle told me when I was a kid was readers are leaders and leaders are readers. If you want to be a leader in the world, you have to read. All the leaders of the world that are leading right now at the top of their game, Google, Elon Musk, all of these different people that are leaders, even when what's his name was around from Apple, Steve Jobs, they read like 50 plus books a year. Even what's his name from Berkshire Hathaway, one of the richest men in the world, he reads like 50, 60 books a year, every single year, even in his age. So it's really important that if you want to be a leader, you got to be a reader. You got to push yourself out of your comfort zone. If you hate reading, then do audiobooks. it's how you consume the content really doesn't matter. Maybe it's videos like this, but you gotta read in some way. You actually gotta consume the information, because this information is out there that you need to help you give experience, to help give you knowledge, and to educate yourself, because you have competitors out there that have read these books 2 and 3 times that are university grads, and you have steep competition, and you wanna have every tool in your arsenal and in your toolbox that you possibly can to not actually be behind your competition. You want to be ahead of your competition, and if you're like me, you want to dominate your competition. So you need to read all the books that you can. These are the first 3 that you need to read. I'm going to release another 3 next week just to continue to help you guys grow. In fact, I'll probably do it once a month instead of once a week, but you need to read books at least once a week. I would try to go through one book. It's only 4 to 6 hours of your time. Most books, Richest Man in Babylon is even less than that. You can blow through these things quickly if you use Audible or YouTube, or just if you like to read. I mean, a lot of people like to read, and I prefer audiobooks more than I like written books, but I still read written books, I read them all the time. As you can see here behind me on my bookcase, I have a ton of books. I have a ton of books in my office. I still go through about 2 to 3 books every single month. So it's important to read. I want you to be able to consume the knowledge, get the knowledge, get the information, get the wisdom that you need from all these people that are thought leaders of the past. One of those books, I think it was the Think and Grow Rich book, was actually inspired by Andrew Carnegie, who was a big part of building this country. So the knowledge that's in there is worth amazing amount of money. There's really no limit to the amount of money that you can make with this knowledge. There are people that have taken this and built massive empires on that knowledge. So I want you to go out there, tell me what book you're reading. Give me some comments. I want to hear some comments. I'm not getting enough comments. I want some comments from you guys to hear what you think about the books. What was your biggest takeaway? Maybe give me one from each, or if you just go through one of them, tell me one at a time. So I want to hear back from you, hear what you think, what you loved, what you didn't like, if it was boring, if it entertained you. Just enthuse me, man. I want to be part of this with you. I want to be along for your journey. I want to hear how you're doing. So I love you guys. I hope this video helped you guys. And as always, until the next one, keep looking up.